My sister excluded me from her wedding because I didn't fit the aesthetic. I wasn't pretty enough for her Pinterest perfect day. Until she needed my money. My name is Sarah Mitchell, 29, content manager. I have a younger sister named Rebecca Mitchell, 26, lifestyle influencer. 3 years ago, Rebecca uninvited me from her wedding bridal party because I didn't fit her aesthetic. Translation: I wasn't thin enough. I wasn't pretty enough. I would ruin her perfect photos. My parents supported her decision. It's her special day. Don't make it about you. I didn't go to the wedding at all. Cut contact with all of them. Last month, Rebecca called. She's having a vow renewal. Wants me as maid of honor this time. Also mentioned they could use some financial help since her husband's company is struggling. So I wasn't good enough for her aesthetic 3 years ago, but I'm good enough to fund her second wedding now. I said no. This is the story of being excluded for not being pretty enough, and refusing to be used when convenient. I grew up in Portland, Oregon. My parents are Robert Mitchell, 58, real estate agent, and Linda Mitchell, 55, stay-at-home mom. Rebecca and I are 3 years apart. I'm the older sister. From early childhood, Rebecca was the pretty one. I was the other one. Rebecca had big blue eyes, naturally thin, photogenic. The kind of kid who could wear anything and look adorable. I was average looking. Brown eyes, brown hair, nothing special. And from about age 8, I started gaining weight. Not drastically, but enough to be noticeably bigger than other kids. My parents noticed. Sarah, maybe you should have an apple instead of cookies. Sarah, do you really need seconds? Sarah, Rebecca eats the same meals and she's so slim. Maybe you're just not active enough. Meanwhile, Rebecca could eat whatever she wanted. No comments. No restrictions. When I was 10 and Rebecca was 7, my mom started taking Rebecca to modeling auditions. Local department store catalogs, small gigs. Rebecca booked a few jobs. My mom was thrilled. My beautiful girl. You're going to be a star. I asked if I could try modeling too. My mom's face. I'll never forget it. This uncomfortable pause. Sarah, modeling is very specific. They look for certain types. Rebecca just happens to fit what they're looking for right now. Translation: you're not pretty enough. I was 10 years old, being told I wasn't pretty enough. Not in those exact words, but the message was clear. Family photos were another source of pain. My mom was obsessed with getting the perfect family photo for Christmas cards. Every year, she'd plan our outfits, choose locations, hire photographers. And every year, she'd focus all her attention on making Rebecca look perfect. Rebecca, tilt your head that way. Perfect. Beautiful. Then she'd glance at me. Sarah, just stand there. Try to smile naturally. When the photos came back, she'd scrutinize them with my dad. Rebecca looks gorgeous in this one. But Sarah's blocking the light here. And in this one, Sarah's posture is slouched. They'd choose photos where Rebecca was the clear focus. I was always slightly out of frame, or positioned where I was less noticeable. One year, when I was 12, I wore a dress I really loved. I thought I looked nice. The photos came back. My mom showed them to my aunt. Rebecca is stunning, as always. Sarah's dress doesn't photograph well though. Too busy. Draws the wrong kind of attention. I was standing right there. Middle school was when it got worse. Rebecca started getting serious attention from boys. She was pretty, popular, always surrounded by friends. I had friends, but I wasn't popular. I was the chubby girl. The one boys didn't notice. My parents' pride in Rebecca was obvious. Rebecca has another date this weekend. Rebecca's going to homecoming with the quarterback. Rebecca has 3 boys asking her to the dance. Meanwhile, I went to dances with my friend group. No dates. No attention. No pride from my parents. When I was 15, I asked a boy to the Sadie Hawkins dance. He said no. Told his friends I was too fat to go with. I came home crying. Told my mom. Well, honey, you have to understand that boys at that age are very visual. Maybe if you lost some weight. Mom, he was cruel to me. I know it hurts. But maybe this is an opportunity to make some changes. Get healthier. She didn't comfort me about the rejection. She suggested I diet. Rebecca, meanwhile, never got rejected. She had to turn down dates because she had too many offers. My parents would laugh about it. Our Rebecca is too popular for her own good. High school dances became a source of anxiety. Every time there was a formal event, my mom would take Rebecca dress shopping. Let's find the perfect dress. You're going to look stunning. For me, Sarah, we got you a dress online. It's practical. It'll work. The dresses she bought me were always meant to hide my body. Dark colors. Loose fits. Nothing pretty. You want to emphasize your face, not your body, my mom would say. Meanwhile, Rebecca got fitted dresses, bright colors, beautiful styles. At junior prom, when I was 16 and Rebecca was 13, Rebecca came dress shopping with us even though she wasn't going. My mom wanted her opinion. Rebecca wore a gorgeous emerald green dress she'd picked for an 8th grade formal. Form-fitting, elegant. She looked beautiful even just trying it on for fun. I wore a black, shapeless dress that made me look like I was going to a funeral. We took family photos before the dance. My mom spent 30 minutes getting Rebecca's photos perfect. Gorgeous. Stunning. You look like a model. Then, okay, Sarah, your turn. Just stand there. Smile. 2 photos. That's it. When the photos were posted on Facebook, my mom's caption, "My beautiful Rebecca going to prom." Red heart, I was cropped out of most photos. I started avoiding family events where photos would be taken. It hurt less to not be there than to be there and be made invisible. Senior year, Rebecca was named homecoming queen. She was 15, a sophomore, but she won anyway. My parents were over the moon. They threw a party. Invited relatives. Made a huge deal. That same year, when I was 18, I won a writing award for a short story I'd written. State-level competition. Big achievement. My parents' response, "That's great, honey. We'll put the certificate on the fridge." No party. No celebration. Just the fridge. The message was consistent, Rebecca's beauty mattered. My achievements didn't. College was my escape. I went to the University of Colorado Boulder when I was 18. Rebecca stayed closer to home, went to Portland State when she turned 18 3 years later. In college, I found my people. Friends who valued me for who I was. I joined the writing club, made close friendships, even dated a guy named Tom for a year during my sophomore year. It was the first time I felt seen. Valued. Not judged for my appearance. I'd video chat with my parents occasionally. They'd ask about school, but the conversation would always shift to Rebecca. Rebecca's dating someone new. He's very handsome. Rebecca got scouted by a local boutique to model their clothes. Rebecca's Instagram is doing so well. Have you seen it? My accomplishments were footnotes. Rebecca's appearance was front page news. I graduated at 22 with honors. Got a job as a content writer for a tech company in Denver. Started my adult life. Rebecca graduated at 22 with a mediocre GPA. But she'd built an Instagram following over the years, about 50,000 followers by graduation. She branded herself as a lifestyle influencer. My parents were so proud. Our daughter, the influencer. I had a career with benefits and a 401k. Rebecca had Instagram. Guess which one they celebrated more? At 23, I met Daniel, 31, software engineer. He was wonderful. Kind, supportive, saw me for who I was. We dated for a year before I introduced him to my family. I was nervous. The visit was telling. My parents were polite to Daniel but not enthusiastic. My mom's comment to me later, "He's nice. Very regular." Translation: he wasn't model handsome like Rebecca's boyfriends. A year later, Rebecca started dating Chad Whitmore, 26, finance analyst. Tall, conventionally attractive, worked in finance, came from money. My parents were obsessed. Chad is so successful. Chad's family is so well connected. Rebecca and Chad are such a beautiful couple. They posted photos of Rebecca and Chad constantly. Our gorgeous daughter and her amazing boyfriend. Daniel and I got engaged when I was 25. We were happy. Excited to start our lives together. My parents' response: "Congratulations. Have you set a date?" That was it. No excitement. No celebration. Just logistical questions. A year later, Rebecca and Chad got engaged. Rebecca was 22. My parents lost their minds. We're so excited. This is going to be the wedding of the century. They threw an engagement party. Invited 100 people. Made a huge production. Daniel and I had gotten a small dinner with immediate family. Rebecca got a party. I tried not to let it bother me. I was used to it by then. But what happened next, I wasn't prepared for. Rebecca started planning her wedding. She was 23, I was 26. It was going to be huge. 200 guests. Destination wedding in Napa Valley. Instagram perfect aesthetic. She asked me to be a bridesmaid. I was surprised but touched. Of course. I'd be honored. Great. It's going to be amazing. I have such a specific vision for this wedding. Over the next few months, Rebecca became obsessed with her wedding aesthetic. Every detail had to be perfect. The colors, the flowers, the venue, the photos. Especially the photos. She had a Pinterest board with thousands of pins. All thin, beautiful brides with thin, beautiful bridal parties. I started to feel uneasy. 2 months before the wedding, Rebecca asked to meet for coffee. "I need to talk to you about something. It's kind of awkward." "Okay. What's up?" She took a deep breath. "So, I've been thinking a lot about the wedding aesthetic. I have a very specific vision. And I need my bridal party to match that vision." My stomach dropped. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying, I don't think you should be a bridesmaid anymore." The words hit me like a physical blow. "What?" "It's not personal, Sarah. It's just, you don't fit the aesthetic I'm going for. All my other bridesmaids are very cohesive. Same body type, similar heights, similar style. You're different. And I don't want my photos to look mismatched." I couldn't breathe. "You're uninviting me from your bridal party because of how I look." "It's not about how you look. It's about the overall aesthetic. This is my wedding. My special day. I need everything to be perfect." "I'm your sister." "I know. And you can still come to the wedding. You'll just be a regular guest. And maybe during the family photos, you could stand in the back? Or we could do some photos with you and some without, and I can choose the best ones later." I stared at her. My own sister. Asking me to hide in the background because I'd ruin her photos. "This is because I'm not thin." "Sarah, don't make this about weight." "That's exactly what this is about. You want thin, pretty bridesmaids. I'm not thin. So I'm out." "You're making this so much harder than it needs to be. It's my wedding day. Can't you just support me?" "Support you? Rebecca, you're excluding me from your wedding because I'm not pretty enough." "I'm not excluding you. You can still come. In the back. Out of frame. Invisible. Like I've been my whole life. That's not fair. It's completely fair. You're asking me to show up and celebrate you while you make it clear I'm not good enough to stand next to you. I left the coffee shop. Didn't look back. I called my parents that night. Surely they'd see how wrong this was. Mom, Rebecca uninvited me from being a bridesmaid. I know, honey. She told us. And you're okay with this? It's her wedding, Sarah. She has a vision. You have to respect that. She uninvited me because I'm not thin enough for her photos. She didn't say that. That's exactly what she said. She said I don't fit her aesthetic. Sarah, you're being dramatic. She still wants you at the wedding. She's just making choices about her bridal party. It's her right. So you think it's okay that she's excluding me based on my appearance? I think it's her wedding and her choice. Don't make this about you. This is Rebecca's special day. I hung up. Called my dad. Same response. It's her wedding, kiddo. Just let her have her day. Even if her day means excluding me? You're not excluded. You're still invited. As a guest. In the back. Out of the photos. Is that really so bad? You get to enjoy the wedding without the stress of being in the bridal party. They didn't get it. Or they didn't care. Daniel was furious when I told him. That's horrible. You're not going, right? I don't know. She's my sister. She's your sister who just told you you're not pretty enough to stand next to her. You don't owe her your presence. He was right. I RSVP'd no. Didn't give a reason. Just declined. Rebecca called immediately. You're not coming to my wedding? No. Because I asked you to step down from the bridal party? Because you made it clear I'm not good enough for your aesthetic. I'm not going to show up and pretend that doesn't hurt. Sarah, you're being so selfish. This is my wedding. And you made it clear I don't belong there. So I'm not coming. Mom and Dad are going to be so disappointed. They should be disappointed in you. I hung up. My parents called within the hour. Sarah, you have to go to Rebecca's wedding. No, I don't. She's your sister. This is family. Family doesn't exclude family for not being pretty enough. You're holding a grudge over nothing. It's not nothing. She told me I'd ruin her photos. She asked me to hide in the back. That's not nothing. You're making her wedding about you. She made her wedding about my appearance. I'm just responding to that. I didn't go to the wedding. The day of, I stayed home with Daniel. We ordered pizza, watched movies, didn't look at social media. But I knew. I knew Rebecca's wedding was happening. I knew my family was there. I knew I was the topic of gossip. Where's Sarah? She chose not to come. Over something so small. The photos flooded social media the next day. Rebecca looked beautiful. Her bridesmaids were all thin, gorgeous, matching her aesthetic perfectly. The photos were perfect. Exactly what she wanted. I wasn't in a single one. My parents posted dozens of photos. The most beautiful wedding. So proud of our Rebecca. Not one mention of me. Not one acknowledgement that their other daughter wasn't there. I blocked them all on social media. Daniel and I got married a year later. I was 27. Small ceremony. Close friends. My parents were invited but barely engaged. They showed up, took a few obligatory photos, left early. My mom's Facebook post, Sarah got married today. That was it. No photos. No enthusiasm. Just a statement of fact. Meanwhile, Rebecca's wedding photos were still being posted months later. Remember this magical day. The message was clear: Rebecca's beauty mattered. My life didn't. I went low contact after my wedding. Called on holidays. Kept conversations brief. Daniel and I moved to Denver for my job when I was 27. Over the next 2 years, I got promoted twice, first to senior content writer at 28, then to content manager at 29. We bought a house when I was 28. Built a good life. I started therapy around the same time to process the lifetime of feeling invisible. My therapist, Dr. Angela Ross, 55, clinical psychologist, helped me see the pattern. Your family has placed all their value on physical appearance. Specifically, Rebecca's appearance. You've been made to feel less than your entire life because you don't fit their narrow definition of beauty. I know that logically. But it still hurts. Of course it hurts. You've been rejected by your family for something you can't control. That's profound trauma. The wedding thing broke something in me. It made the rejection explicit. Before, it was subtle: the comments, the photo choices, the lack of celebration. But uninviting you from the bridal party made it undeniable. She literally said you weren't good enough. And my parents supported her. Which compounded the rejection. You weren't just rejected by your sister. You were rejected by your entire family. Those sessions helped. I started to understand that the problem wasn't me. It was them. I wasn't too big. I wasn't not pretty enough. I was fine. They were the ones with the problem. 3 years passed after Rebecca's wedding. I didn't talk to Rebecca. Minimal contact with my parents. I was 29, thriving in my career, happy with Daniel, finally at peace. Then Rebecca called. I almost didn't answer. But curiosity got the better of me. Sarah. Hi. It's been so long. Her voice was overly cheerful. Fake. Hi, Rebecca. I've been thinking about you. I miss you. I miss us. Okay. I wanted to tell you something exciting. Chad and I are doing a vow renewal. 3-year anniversary. It's going to be beautiful. Kind of like a second wedding. My stomach turned. Good for you. And I want you there. I want you to be my maid of honor this time. I almost laughed. You want me to be your maid of honor? Yes. I've grown so much in the past 3 years. I realize how wrong I was to ask you to step down before. I want to make it right. I want you standing next to me this time. Why the change of heart? Like I said, I've grown. I've matured. I understand now that family is more important than aesthetics. There was something in her tone. Something off. Is that the only reason? A pause. Well. I mean, also, planning a vow renewal is expensive. And I know you're doing really well financially now. You got those promotions, you and Daniel bought a house. I thought maybe you could help with some of the costs. As maid of honor, you know. There it was. So you want me as maid of honor because you need money? That's not the only reason. But it's a reason. Sarah, don't be like that. I'm trying to include you. To make amends. You're trying to use me. That's not fair. Let me get this straight. 3 years ago, I wasn't good enough for your aesthetic. I'd ruin your perfect photos. But now that you need money, suddenly I'm good enough to be maid of honor? I told you, I've changed. Have you? Or do you just need funding for your second wedding? Chad's company has had some setbacks. We're fine, but a vow renewal is expensive, and I thought family could help. So Chad's company is struggling, and now you remember you have a sister. Stop twisting this. I'm not twisting anything. You excluded me when I wasn't useful. Now you're including me because I am. That's not growth. That's convenience. I'm trying to make things right. No, you're trying to use me. If you actually wanted to make things right, you'd apologize. Really apologize. Without asking for money. I am apologizing. No, you're explaining. You're justifying. You're making excuses. A real apology would be, Sarah, I was cruel to you. I excluded you based on your appearance. That was wrong. I hurt you deeply, and I'm sorry. I don't expect forgiveness, but I needed you to know I realize how badly I treated you. That's an apology. What you're doing is manipulation. Silence on the other end. I can't believe you're being so petty about this, Rebecca finally said. Petty? You uninvited me from your wedding because I wasn't pretty enough. That's not petty. That's cruel. It was 3 years ago. Get over it. I am over it. I moved on. I built a life without you. But now you want back in because you need something. That's not how this works. So you're saying no? I'm saying absolutely not. I'm not funding your vow renewal. I'm not being your maid of honor. I'm not pretending the last 3 years didn't happen just because it's convenient for you now. Mom and Dad are going to hear about this. I'm sure they will. And they'll side with you, like they always do. But I don't care anymore. I'm done seeking approval from people who've never valued me. I hung up. Within an hour, my mom called. Sarah, Rebecca told me you refused to be in her vow renewal. That's correct. How can you be so unforgiving? She's trying to make amends. She's trying to get money from me. That's a cynical way to look at it. It's an accurate way to look at it. She admitted Chad's company is struggling and they need help with costs. Family helps family. Funny. That didn't apply 3 years ago when Rebecca excluded me from her wedding. She's apologized for that. No, she hasn't. She's explained it away. She's justified it. She hasn't actually apologized. You're holding a grudge. I'm protecting myself. There's a difference. She's your sister. She's the person who told me I'd ruin her wedding photos because I'm not thin enough. That doesn't just go away because she needs money now. You're being vindictive. I'm being self-protective. I spent my entire childhood being made to feel invisible because I wasn't pretty like Rebecca. The wedding was the final confirmation that I didn't matter. I'm not going back to that. So you're cutting us off over vanity? No, Mom. I'm cutting you off because you've never valued me. Because Rebecca's appearance has always mattered more than my existence. Because you supported her when she excluded me, and now you're supporting her when she's trying to use me. I'm done. I hung up. My dad texted, very disappointed in you. Family is supposed to forgive. I didn't respond. Rebecca posted on Instagram, planning a vow renewal and so grateful for the family who truly supports us, red heart. The subtext was clear. I wasn't included in family who truly supports. I didn't care. Danielle supported me completely. You made the right choice. They're going to paint me as the villain. Let them. You know the truth. I know the truth. That's what matters. He was right. Dr. Ross was proud of me. You set a boundary. You protected yourself. That's huge growth. It feels bad though. Of course it does. You're going against years of conditioning. Your family trained you to accept being treated as less than. Standing up to that feels wrong because it's unfamiliar. But it's not wrong. It's healthy. Will it always feel this hard? No. It gets easier. The guilt fades. You start to feel the freedom of not carrying their expectations anymore. She was right about that too. It's been a few months since Rebecca's call. I haven't heard from her or my parents since. I assume the vow renewal happened. I didn't look. Some extended family members reached out, asking me to reconsider. Rebecca really has changed. Holding grudges isn't healthy. Family should forgive. I stopped responding to those messages too. The truth is, I don't hold a grudge. I just don't trust them. Rebecca didn't change. She just needed something. And when she doesn't need me anymore, I'll go back to being the sister who doesn't fit the aesthetic. I'm done with that cycle. I'm 29 now. I have a career I love. A husband who adores me. Friends who value me. I don't need validation from people who've never given it. I don't need to be pretty enough for the family photos. I'm enough. Just as I am. And anyone who doesn't see that doesn't deserve to be in my life. Rebecca wanted a Pinterest perfect wedding. She got it. Without me. Now she wants a vow renewal. She can have that too. Without me. I'm not a prop. I'm not a bank account. I'm not someone who exists to serve her needs when convenient. I'm a person. With feelings. With worth. With dignity. And I'm done letting my family make me forget that. Some people will say I'm unforgiving. That family is family. That I should let it go. But forgiveness doesn't mean accepting abuse. It doesn't mean funding the person who hurt you. It doesn't mean pretending everything is fine. I've forgiven Rebecca in the sense that I don't wish her harm. I hope she's happy. But I don't need to be part of her life. And she doesn't get to be part of mine. Not when her love is conditional on me being useful. Not when her acceptance is dependent on me fitting her standards. Not when her inclusion comes with a price tag. I deserve better than that. And I finally believe it. Have you ever been excluded from a family event because of your appearance? Have you ever been made to feel not good enough for the family photos? Have you ever been wanted only when you had something to offer? Share your experience in the comments. Sometimes the most important person to validate you is yourself. If you believe that family should accept you as you are, not just when you're useful, hit that like button and subscribe. Because you can't exclude someone for not being pretty enough, then expect them to fund your second wedding. That's not how love works.